Welcome to the cabin. We have got a bull caribou in the living room that we're going to be processing today. If you're not familiar with the caribou, it's somewhere in between the size range of an elk and a deer. If this animal was any bigger, I'm pretty sure we'd be doing this outside. And we're running out of space in the cabin, so we're going to get this done today. We brought it in yesterday. This bull was frozen. We believe it's thawed out enough that we can start skinning it. Awesome hunting season to be able to get this caribou. And this is the best part right here. We get the reward. So Arielle's gonna come in here with me. We're gonna dive on in.
That's an artery, huh? Oh, that's the muscle. He's still, good timing, he's still frozen. So. The skinning is taking a little bit longer. We want to go ahead and attempt to save the hide to actually tan it. So we're gonna be doing it on our own. At least that's the plan. I know with caribou fur, especially in the winter, it can be a little bit tricky. They've got like hollow fur, and he looks pretty good. I have no experience tanning this large of a hide, so we're just gonna be giving it a go. We're gonna freeze it for the time being. And that's why we're taking our time on this part of the process. It's still frozen, which is good. So once we get the cape off, we can start to quarter it out and start getting some cuts off. Got about half of this done, and we have read or heard that these caribou get attacked by bugs, like pretty treacherous in the summer, and they get, I don't know if it's called a bot fly, but there's a fly that will like lay its baby underneath their skin, and he has 2 on his hide that we've seen, but that's good. He doesn't have very many at all, and we've definitely heard stories of them being kind of infested. So this is the back strap back here. I'm just gonna keep moving along. Whoa.
Now they're quartered down, so we've got half of the animal skinned and kind of laid off, and we're working on one part of the animal. So when we shot this caribou, we were after more caribou. So what we did is we gutted it and we kind of just let it freeze. It's pretty straightforward. So you got the back quarter, we have one of these front quarters we just took off, and then we've got all this meat kind of left on the carcass, and we're gonna do a lot of that for burger meat, except for one of my favorite parts, which is gonna be the back strap. And as far as knives so far we've been using, this is one we really like. This is a Mora. This is another one of our favorites. These are all kind of like what we would consider skinning knives. This is an Italian-made one. And this one, this is a bench-made knife. And those are some of our favorites to use. And then we'll probably switch over to another knife when we're boning out the meat.
This is something like this is gonna be burger meat when I clean it up.
A little frozen, it's hard to get out there.
It's really frozen, it's hard. Did you get most of it out? Oh my gosh. Ow, that hurts my hand so bad. It's not even funny. It's a nice, once I get that cleaned up, that's nice. What would you call that, a loin?
Yeah.
Roast.
Well, our boning knife got a little bit dull, and I'm gonna sharpen it up. And for the longest time, I've been sharpening my knives with just a regular sharpening stone, and I still use it. It's great for like if you're going out and about, but I bought this sharpener a couple months ago. I've probably sharpened, I don't know, less than 10 knives with it. There is a learning curve, but this thing is awesome. It's called a Work Sharp. I don't know what model it is. I'll list it in the video description, but it uses like different diamond stones, and it has all different grits. Right now I'm on a 400, and then I'll work my way up all the way to an 800, which is a really fine one. I've been able to get my knives a lot sharper, and it's really cool because when they're a lot sharper, they last a lot longer. So all the ones that we've been using in here today, those are actually ones we brought out with us hunting. I haven't had to touch them, and those ones are still sharp. So this is our boning knife. This is a Victorinox. We're getting this one sharpened up.
I gotta get these cleaned up and put these. Do you want to put? What do you want to do with like roast?
We need to have a bucket or a bowl for.
Okay.
What's in that bowl?
They're easy to cut when they're frozen. Don't you think? When they're like, when we're ready to go eat them.
We're about halfway there. We're gonna clean things up a little bit, and we're gonna put some bones aside. I'm gonna cut them real quick so they fit in our pot. And those are gonna be for bone broth, and we are getting hungry. And if you ever go to a diner, the one thing that they usually have on the menu is steak and eggs. So that's what we're cooking. We've got some backstrap cut up. We're gonna give this caribou a true taste test. We're gonna do it pretty simple. We're gonna cook it in olive oil. We're gonna do a little bit of salt and pepper on it. That's it. Looks good. Let's give it a go.
It looks fantastic.
Okay.
We've got some sourdough with Tim. How'd you cook those eggs? They're all like beautiful and steamy.
Sunny side up eggs. Look at that.
Okay, let's just try just the meat. Giving it the sniff test. Okay, don't be throwing your hands up yet. You gotta taste it. You gotta taste it. I do see why you're throwing your hands up now.
It doesn't get any better than that.
I mean, there's one particular moose Eric and I have harvested that we always like, oh, that was the best moose ever. To me, not the best moose ever, the best meat ever. And this one, I see what, it touches your mouth.
Butter.
And the delicacy, yeah, it's like filet mignon.
So tender.
It's like the best meat ever.
Yeah, it just tastes like pure, just delicious meat. No game flavor like you would get from venison or anything like that. And I did notice that with this meat, it's actually nothing really like venison from a regular deer. It doesn't have that kind of purplish color. To me, it reminds me a lot more of what beef or moose would taste like.
That's insane. This is a very good cut. This is a backstrap, but that is
Is that not the best meat you've ever tasted?
I don't even. I'm gonna maybe even argue that this may be better than moose.
And we've had caribou multiple times, but most of the times I think we've had it, it's been like either ground caribou into burger meat, or it's been cut with something else to make like a sausage.
We've never tasted it just straight, beautiful, clean meat like this.
Never had a straight caribou steak. Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. I was gonna say that's fantastic, but that's unbelievable. You don't even need the salsa?
Look at that, just,
Yeah,
that's how cold it is.
I think it says how cold it is what's going on.
Is it marrow in there?
Because yeah.
Got the compost done.
We're starting off this morning getting our bones ready for bone broth. I'm going to let them sit in some cold water with some apple cider vinegar. I've never quite tried that tactic. We're gonna let them sit for about an hour and then we're gonna get them into the pressure cans. Thankfully, we're gonna be able to do it in 2 batches. The bones are a little bit smaller than I expected they would be. Eric got them chopped up this morning with an axe actually because it was so cold out there this morning. They were a little bit brittle, I guess you could say. Last night we finished up with the hide. We've got it stored outside. It's gonna freeze until I can get to it a little bit later in the spring when it warms up. But we kind of scraped off as much of the gunk, so to speak, that we could. And I thought that this was pretty neat. There's actually a little SCOBY in here, or 2 SCOBYs, because this is a really old apple cider vinegar. It's been sitting forever. So I'm gonna pour it in here. Let's see if we can catch it. There we go. Got a lot to do today.
Oh man, this is smelling good already. I'm excited for this morning. When you have an animal that you harvest, it's up to you to decide exactly how you want it, and it depends on what you like to eat. So Arielle and I really enjoy like ground sausage mixed with a little bit of pork fat, and we already have some moose sausage outside frozen, and that's more of like a breakfast sweet sausage. So we thought it'd be really cool for this one to go with more of like a spicy dinner sausage, almost like an Italian sausage. So we've got a lot of peppers and peppercorns, some sweet peppers, some spicy, all ground up. Those are ready to go. We're gonna chop up a few more ingredients and then we're gonna start grinding our sausage. Including bone broth? No, I don't know. 70 pounds in there.
You said 70. So cold. One more bowl's worth. Yeah, that other one we used to have to. Oh my gosh, you didn't even have the neck puller on. I just realized.
No, this neck is. We've got 2 batches. So this 5-gallon bucket is going to be just pure ground caribou. We're gonna call that burger meat. And then the one over here, which has a little bit more in it, that's gonna be our ground sausage. We're gonna start cutting in our pork fat now, and we're gonna add some other pretty cool ingredients. So we've got serrano peppers, garlic, and onion. We've got all the herbs and spices and the pepper that we ground up. And then to make it a little bit better, we're gonna add some cowboy candy marinade. So this is like sugary, spicy, jalapeno, really good stuff. 4 pounds of pork fat.
Oh, it smells so great, huh? Slimy. Looks like honey.
Hopefully I can mix this in here. We're taking a little break here. The meat runs through that grinder when it's like almost frozen, so we stuck it outside. It's still about 20 below out there, so it'll freeze up for us, and it'll go through this thing a lot faster, but we cooked some up to make sure that it tastes good. So let's give it a go. Not extremely spicy.
We can have more serranos, so we can more. I think it is really good too. It is pretty much perfect, minus the fact that it's not really spicy. I mean, I'm not really getting that at all. Definitely, I feel like it does taste like Italian sausage though. So maybe we'll add some more peppers.
Look at it. Look what you just created. A little loaf.
How hungry are you, hun?
Hey, we're at the 2 below. Not that hungry.
Put it right there. I wonder if that'll be enough butter.
That big thing?
This small one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's big.
Okay, get this packaged up.
You want to vacuum those real quick, and then we can work on putting these?
Sure. Yeah.
Things are moving along pretty quickly here, and all we have left to do with the meat is get our roast packaged up, and we're gonna weigh them real quick. Tell me what you guys think this weighs. So this is a 5-gallon food grade bucket, a little overflowing with moose roast. Arielle said 43 pounds, you said? 45 pounds. I think 28 pounds. Let's find out.
We were all very wrong.
What is it?
Under 29.
I said 28.
You said 28?
Yeah, I said 28 pounds.
28 pounds.
It was?
Are you joking me?
What do you mean? I said 28.
I didn't listen.
So I got
Look, it was 28 pounds. 0.7.
I got it right. That was awesome. It was pretty light. Feel it. Quick calculation. We ended up with 12 pounds of burger meat. We had 34 pounds of the sausage. So you got to minus 4 pounds for the pork fat we put in there. So that's 42 pounds plus 28. 70 pounds on the dot?
Yeah.
That's pretty good for a caribou. Awesome. So let's get these packaged up.
Okay, we got this bad boy too. Pretty good. Pretty
Very
nice.
nice, yeah.
We finished pressure cooking our bones last night. The broth looks lovely. We have strained it and we've already run several batches in the pressure canners. This is number 3. and 4, and there's still more to go. Earlier this morning, we were able to make some food for Bandit. Pretty cool. We ended up with, it was less than a 5-gallon bucket of scraps from the Caribou, just, you know, maybe the stuff that we didn't want or wasn't super high quality meat, and we turned it into food for him, which is really cool. It's all ground up and packaged, and I think we got like 18 pounds. We've got something really cool for dinner planned, but we have to get this wrapped up first. On the menu tonight, we are making piroshkis. Very exciting stuff. We've never made this dish before, which is surprising because they are absolutely delicious. And we are using none other than Caribou in this one. We're actually gonna be using the liver. But first we have to start on the dough. I don't quite have exact measurements for this, but it's a yeast dough. So I have about 3/4 cup of some warm milk, and we're going to bloom the yeast in there. And once that gets frothy, we're gonna add a little bit of salt, kosher salt, some sugar, and an egg, and a little bit of olive oil. Our dough's coming together. I used probably 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and I've got maybe like 1/4 cup of some hard butter right here that we're gonna be mixing into the dough. We're gonna get it really like harmonious, and then we're gonna let it sit for a while until it doubles in size.
I'm gonna be in charge of the filling for the piroshkis, and we're gonna do a few different ingredients in here. We have part of the caribou liver, which Arielle has rinsed quite a few times, onions, garlic, potato, and we're gonna use a little bit of the bone broth. I'm gonna get this liver thinly sliced up and cooking with the rest of the ingredients. Pretty good. I mean, maybe a little thick. Although this first mixture is absolutely delicious, we both kind of feel that putting the potato in there kind of overpowered the liver. So there's not enough like liver flavor coming through. Arielle went ahead and she cooked up about 1 pound, maybe a little less, of the ground caribou meat. And this is our first time trying this stuff as is. And this has absolutely nothing on it. No salt, no pepper. I think there was just a little bit of olive oil in there. This stuff is amazing. It tastes so good. So we're gonna mix this in here. Let's see, let's do a bunch of it in there. And you know what? Let's put it all in there. And we're gonna mix this in, and this is gonna be it. And we're gonna let this cool outside, and then we will add a little bit of cheese before we stuff them. Let's see how our dough's doing. Very excited for this. Piroshkis are like a childhood favorite of mine. I don't know why, but I just had them a lot as a kid. So let's go see how these hold up in the frying pan. Okay, that's let's just go for it.
Oh.
Maybe I'll use a spatula on the next one.
Are you okay?
Give this one another tumble.
These puppies are ready to eat, and they're fried in pig fat, so they're going to be delicious, of course. We are happy that all of the work is kind of coming to an end today on day 3.
Yeah, the hard work is done. Now it's as easy as just going outside, grabbing whatever type of meat we want to use, sausage, burger, or a roast, and coming inside and cooking it.
Enjoying it, absolutely. The bone broth, we got a lot more than we expected. I think we're going to get about 40 quarts. I was able to do a second batch with the bones, and that's just been simmering on the wood stove over there. And we use this stuff for everything. You can use it for boiling pasta, but we usually use it for like stews. What else do we use it for?
Stews, rice, beans, anything.
Beans.
Like you would use chicken stock with, but in our opinion, bone broth just has way more flavor.
Yeah, if you just want to up the flavor. Sausages are usually just good to go. The roasts you can turn into anything. We got the food for Bandit, and we also saved the organs this time. We saved the heart, the tongue, and the liver, of course. I gave the kidneys to Bandit, so.
Yep, and it was a heart shot when we killed the animal, so we got about, what, 3/4 of the heart?
Yeah, 75% is what I was going to say.
Not bad.
Do you think those are ready to eat?
Yes, the ones on the bottom are.
Are you not going to cut them? You're just going to go, because that's not how you eat them.
You just eat. You just go at it.
So they're nice and browned. They have a very puffy.
Flaky, puffy.
Puffy, flaky, yeah. I don't know if it's puffy. It's definitely puffy.
That tastes just like a pierogi.
It's the dough.
That's insane. That's the best pierogi I've ever had in my life.
I just got a little cheese.
That is so good. Holy cow.
Don't know if cheese is traditional, but we had some of that mozzarella and we wanted to try it. The dough, I should have took notes. I did not really quite pay attention to my exact measurements, but it spot on tastes like when we would have a pierogi, the dough.
Yeah.
It puffed. It was like laminated.
This is insane. I don't even know what to say. It's so good.
When you're cooking these, I would cook them maybe a hair lower, and like with a lot of oil. They deep fry like a little slower.
Yeah, we only had a certain amount of fat left. We have to render some more lard, so we just like flipped them in the pan. But if you could get them in deeper oil, they'd probably be a little more visually appealing. But these ones turned out awesome. This is definitely something I'm going to make again.
I apologize, folks. Eric and I are really hungry after today. We've been just like working ourselves around here. That caribou meat is so good. I am tempted to kind of like, it's really weird to say it, but we've been having this conversation back and forth for the last 48 hours. We have eaten caribou for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a few days now. It has more of like a mild flavor, delicate flavor than moose. And I feel like I prefer it. I feel like I'm going to say it's my favorite meat I've ever tried. I don't know what it is, but it just tastes a hair different than moose. It tastes more moist.
Something.
I don't know how to, I can't pinpoint it.
It's very hard to explain. It doesn't taste like beef, and it also doesn't taste like venison, which has a little bit of a gamey flavor to it. Yeah. And it all depends on like that animal. So we got this caribou and it tasted absolutely delicious. That could just be like the circumstances for that caribou. And we could get another one in the fall or something else and it could taste completely different. But this one, I agree with Arielle, compared to any moose that we have ever eaten, I probably like it just slightly better.
Just slightly better.
And we love moose.
Yeah, we love moose. That's why it's a weird statement to make, because we absolutely love moose. This gentleman did not have any fat on him. We were processing him. He was very just like muscly and healthy. He was a really healthy animal, and I think that reflects in the flavor of his meat. Now we have all this delicious meat to eat for the next few months, which is very cool.
This recipe, although liver might not be like the star of the show because we added so many other ingredients, let us know what your guys' favorite liver recipe is.
Or if you tried liver at all.
Yes, and we also have, like Arielle said, a heart and a tongue.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Thank you guys for watching.
We're going to eat another pierogi. I want this one. No. Yeah, I'll eat this one.